Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
We made this.
Hello and welcome everyone to the latest We Made Trek's Roundtable podcast on the We Made This podcast network. You might be listening on Make It So, a Star Trek Picard podcast, We Are Starfleet, a Star Trek Discovery, for now, podcast, or Really Going, a Star Trek animated podcast. Wherever you've come from, whatever corner of the Alpha or Delta or Beta quadrant you are, welcome. I'm Tony Black and I'm joined by two seasoned captains in the USS WMT. We made this. Craig McKenzie and Ashley Thomas. How are you guys?
Hello.
Hey.
Doing good. Ready to talk more Trek because I don't spend enough time doing that.
Girl, same.
Yeah, you guys are like Trek-experts for me. Like you write about Trek on a weekly basis, basically. You for Neil Before Blog your site, Craig, and you for Fangirlish, Ashley, don't you? So you guys must be loving this new era with all this Trek to write about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm it's definitely keeping me employed, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
It's keeping me busy. I think my overall reaction is mixed in terms of the quality of what I'm being subject to. And I wouldn't mind a break now and again. This 52 weeks of Trek every year thing isn't going to sit right with me if they keep doing it.
I'm not going to be mad about it. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave the episode by episode to you crazy kids, right? Because you're doing a great job anyway. I'm just gonna do like a season review because I'm lazy, basically. So that's all I'm gonna do.
I think season reviews are worse because I always find that it's like I've got to throw everything into this and the mix at the end of it. It means you forget stuff, or that I forget stuff, and there's things that I don't get to cover or whatever. So yeah, the season roundups, they're always more challenging for me because I like to dig right in. I could, but it would be like 20,000 words long, and I just don't have that kind of motivation to churn out something like that.
I just forget half the things. That's the problem with the season review. By the end, I'm just like, oh yeah, what was that episode? Oh, I didn't mention that. Oops. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. But yeah, we're here anyway to talk about... We did a couple of these before. We did one for last First Contact Day where there was some reveals that came out. We did one towards the autumn. There were different hosts. I think it might have been Kurt North last time he was hosting the last couple. But it's been First Contact Day recently, and always now, as a lovely little thing they do on April the 5th, is they try and drop some new Star Trek juicy news stuff. So in this case, we've had a few morsels to chew on. So we're going to be talking in this episode about the brand new trailer for Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which drops in basically almost to the day, a month's time. And I think we're all really excited about after a long gestation period. We're going to talk about the Star Trek Resurgence video game, which has just dropped some new information. We're going to talk about the Star Trek motion picture 4K restoration, which I think has got a lot of people excited. Well, maybe anyone under 20 won't care, but like everyone else. And then we're going to talk about probably the juiciest news. What the hell is going on with Star Trek Picard Season 3, this final season? So let's start with one of the big ones, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And a new trailer came out, which gives us lots of action, lots of characters, lots of little glimpses into this show. So, guys, What did you think about this trailer overall that came out?
Lots of things to look forward to for me. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. I am all about ladies with short hair who sword fight, because Brienne of Tarth is my favorite character in all of fiction. I like that we're getting another lady kind of like that in Strange New Worlds. So that would be Lieutenant Erica Ortegas, I believe is her name. Yes. Lieutenant Commander Erica Ortegas is played by Melissa Navia, I believe is her name.
Yeah, I think she's a newcomer.
Yes, new character, new to Trek. So I'm excited to see who she is, and I did a little reading because I was so like, oh wait, there's a girl who's sword fighting. I'm really excited about that. That's cool. So I was pretty interested in that, so I went and read a little bit about her this week, and I'm like, okay, she and I can hang. I think we would get along. So yeah. Erica, Melissa, if you're listening, we'll have coffee or something. That'd be fun.
She will be
Coffee
listening.
and
Actually,
swords.
come on. Yeah. Of course she will.
Yeah, coffee and swords. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, sounds good. Craig, what did you think?
So we've had 2 trailers. We've actually had more than 2 because we had those every day for a week or so, those character-specific TV spots. But it's quite interesting how my reaction to the first and second trailer differed, because the first trailer, I've had concerns because it starts with Pike is in seclusion because he's upset that he's going to die soon or end up in a chair where he can only communicate with beeps. So has to be brought back into the fold. So remember how in The Next Generation, every episode started with Picard being approached by an admiral who said, come on, one more mission. Every episode they did that, didn't they? That's the norm now. But once it got into he's on the Enterprise, here's the crew, here's some weird storms and stuff, here's stuff they're doing, I was well on board. And then the second trailer, if that had been the first trailer, I'd have been like, yeah, this is flawless. I'm so excited about this, because it was suggesting here's a Trek that's going to hit the ground running. It's going to give you that old school exploration-based storytelling. There's going to be diplomatic disputes. There's going to be character stuff. There's going to be sword fights, as you say. There's going to be weird Pon farr stuff, perhaps. Whether it's a dream sequence or not, we don't know. There's going to be loads of stuff. It's going to be probably it looks like it's the most kind of high octane and exciting Trek we've had since it came back, actually. It seems like they're just firing on all cylinders based on that second trailer.
It does look like that, doesn't it? I mean, the beauty of this, in theory, is that they can kind of hit the ground running, I think, because they've kind of got this. It's very easy setup to explain. It's not like something like Prodigy, where you've got to really do a couple of episodes of setting up the idea, or even Picard, where you've got to build that world around a guy we know. This is Star Trek, easy to understand Star Trek. It's the Enterprise, it's a crew, it's a captain, it's a ship, it's missions, it's boldly go. It can just get into it, and you kind of get the sense it will. Like, maybe there'll be that, the scene at the beginning, or the first episode might be trying to drag Pike back to it, and get rid of the. Is he got a beard in that sequence?
He does.
Where he's
yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, because he's sad. He's got the beard of sadness. They always do, don't they?
He should keep the beard of sadness. It was a good look.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he wears a beard of sadness well.
It's incongruous as well, because you have him sort of looking all upset in his snowy wasteland with his horse, and then in the second trailer it's like, I love this job. Okay, that's a reverse. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, so we don't know what the progression is, but it seems like it's giving us 2 different things here.
Maybe you just had a really good mission.
Maybe.
It's like we have a really good day at work, and you're like the day before you're like, I hate this job, and then you have a really good day, and it's like, it's not too bad, I like it. Maybe the first episode will be that, though, trying to drag Pike back and then once he's back, and there's a mission, and he's fine, and it's all off. I hope so. I don't want laboured, season-long, let's spend half a season looking for Spock kind of. I just want them to get on with it, get into the missions. Dare we hope that this is a bit more episodic, this one?
Well, they keep saying
it's supposed to be.
Do you think it looks that way from the trailer? Is it hard to tell? Is it hard to tell, really, at this stage?
There's lots of different things going on, isn't there? So I don't know if they're related. Yeah, it just kind of looks like, here's some stuff that we'll be doing, and they don't seem to be connected. But then they're only snippets, so you don't know really.
Yeah, that was the impression I got as well. Like, here's one shot where we're on a planet. Here's Pike landing in the middle of what looked to be tense negotiations. There's lots of different scenarios that showed up in the trailer. So it is my understanding this is going to be a return to the more episodic format. So we'll see. There might be some measure of thread throughout these stories, but I think we're definitely going to go see lots of, strange new worlds. There we go.
Yeah, they say that the characters will remember what happened, whereas the missions will differ episode to episode. So there'll be some kind of character arcs because they're on the same ship, but the actual story content will be different, I guess.
That's cool. That in itself is a bit of a difference from some of the modern shows we've had. So I think if they can get that balance right, I don't think anyone will be really disappointed. Nobody expects it to go back to literally you reboot each week and they don't have any continuity and they don't remember it. There's going to be developing relationships, but it'd be really nice if we had independent episodes where there's a character link throughout, there's a few plots going on, but each week is its own chunky thing. I think that'd be wonderful, really, and that'd be nowadays it'd be a little bit different from what we often get.
Yeah, a beginning, middle, and an end on each episode. That'd be good.
Yeah, that would be really nice. But it looks fun. I think I wonder if they're amping the action up a little bit for the trailer, and maybe there will be a bit more of a balance of intrigue and negotiation and diplomacy in this. Maybe there will. Maybe there'll be a bit more science in there than they're trying to sell, because they're obviously trying to sell it as this exciting new. It looked quite Abramsy, and I think that's obviously part of the goal, isn't it? To get the hook them in, I guess.
Yeah, there's some space battles and stuff in there, which is something we haven't had a lot of, actually. In Discovery, they almost never fire phasers at anything, so not that that's a bad thing in of itself, but it would be good to see a bit more swashbuckling, because that's what I liked about Trek before, and it feels like we haven't really had that since it came back, except from in things like Prodigy, which is a bit more, seat of your pants type action, but in the live action Trek, it's been mostly, very particularly set up, whereas this is, it looks a bit more like, we're out there, we're on the frontier, we're having a bit of fun, we're looking at different things, we're charting space, as the trailer says, that kind of stuff.
Spot looks like he's getting it on with someone as well in this.
Sexy
T'Pring, I think it
Sexy
is.
Spot.
It's supposed to be his betrothed from the original series, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that the character who was in Amok Time?
Yeah,
Same
although
one.
they hadn't met before Amok Time, as far as I'm aware, as far as I remember. But I don't know. Might not be her. Might be someone else.
I was going to say modern Trek playing with canon. No, I refuse to believe it. But yeah, I did laugh at. There was a tweet I did really laugh at where somebody said, I think they put in capitals, "Why are they obsessed with making Spock a fuck machine in these shows?"
I'm sorry. Do you not know your Star Trek history? The whole, with season 3 of original series, there was this whole big campaign with We Grok Spock. So everybody always has thought Spock is very sexy. So now you're just actually getting to see him be sexy on TV.
It's a natural progression. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. This is canon.
Yeah. Before we move on, though, I don't know if we saw these characters. You guys might know, but I don't know if we saw these characters in the trailer. There's obviously two. Well, one of them anyway. We might have seen in the trailer. There's two casting and two characters that have caused a bit of a stir in the past few months, isn't there? The first one being Lan Noonien Singh, played by Christina Chong, who is one of the crew members, I think, and I think he's a relative of Khan or a descendant of Khan. And what do you guys think of that? I mean, I think a lot of people groaned and went, "Oh, you really? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?"
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think she looks interesting. Again, I'm very much like, I'm not going to get grumpy about something before I've seen it. So, yeah, I'm here for it. Let's see how she turns out.
I was a little bit, ooh, really? But it like you say, I mean, we'll see what it's like. We'll see what the character's like. They might have come up with a really interesting way of doing this because obviously, Khan is in the history books, I guess, of Star Trek, and We'll see. Let's hope so. Let's hope it's fun. Let's hope it's not too on the nose. Because obviously Khan hasn't been thawed out at this point, has he? So he's still in his Botany Bay, travelling through space. So we'll see. I hope they make it work. Let's put it that way.
Well, they've also hinted at that she has kind of a mysterious past that even she is unaware of. So I don't know. We'll see. What do you think, Craig?
I wonder if it'll be one of those things where maybe only Pike finds out about it, so that Spock doesn't, and that maintains the canon explanation of him not really knowing who Khan was when they encounter him.
Could be.
I doubt it, because I don't think they would leave it off the table in that way, but it seems like a strange one to do, but we don't know anything about what that connection is, so who knows?
Well, maybe she'll be working for Section 31, turn into some sort of evil villain, and they'll all have to go to the 32nd century to escape her. Maybe.
So we'll have two seasons of the Enterprise in the 32nd century, and then they come back at some point, yeah.
They're all going to end up in the 32nd century. That's what the ultimate goal is. Picard's going to end up there. They're all just going to end up there and have a big, Avengers-style reunion show, maybe.
I keep expecting them to reveal that Picard's still alive in Discovery. I keep expecting that to come up.
They should. They should just do it, I think. Why not? He got mentioned, didn't he? Recently, was it in the last series?
Yeah, he did get mentioned. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obliquely, it was some other guy got a android body. His name was Picard or something like that. I don't know. Just some guy. Who cares?
Yeah. It was a bit like that, yeah.
To be fair, they'd not been in the 32nd century that long. Hadn't met Picard yet. Still got some history to brushing up on.
Yeah.
And when I interviewed the writer Carlos Cisco, he talked about how in the writer's room they're always aware of these people's heroes aren't Picard or Cisco or whoever, because they don't know who they are. Be people like Archer and whatever. If Archer's your hero, you've got problems. But that's who they look up to because that's their era.
Sure, I quite like that throwaway ref. I thought that was quite well done. Actually, it was good. Yeah. What about the other? I mean, this is season 2 of Strange New Worlds, which we know has been commissioned and is being filmed and everything like that. So obviously, we know that James T. Kirk is going to be in the show because it's been revealed that Paul Wesley is playing the role next season. This has really polarised people, hasn't it, really? I mean, I think there's a lot of people questioning canon. There's a lot of people going, oh, is he a captain? He can't be a captain yet, surely. I mean, who knows? I mean, what do you guys think? I worry the older I get, the more I'm becoming one of those canon aggressive nerd people who just wants everything to tie up together. But I don't know. What do you guys think of this?
Well, there's absolutely nothing in canon to support or contradict what people are saying, because I remember I dug out the script for the Menagerie when it was announced, and it's literally a couple of lines where I met Kirk once when I met Pike once when I took the Enterprise from him, and that's all that's ever said. Remember, they didn't even confirm that the 23rd century was when the original series was set until The Wrath of Khan. That was the first time they put a date stamp on anything. So people are just extrapolating from a lot of non-canon sources that they've accepted as canon over the years because there was nothing else. Because these background details weren't fleshed out. They were building it as they were going, and that's fine. There might be some on-screen text in a bio file or something like that.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
That tells you a bit more about Kirk's service history. But again, those were written at times that HD screen grabs weren't projected to be a thing, so they just put any old crap in them. the contradictory information or just, shopping lists or whatever. They just put any old crap in those bios just because they had to write something. As long as there's a wall of text on screen, that'll do, So, yeah, so I don't think there's any canon to contradict, really. We don't know anything about Kirk in canon before he took over the Enterprise, other than he met Carol Marcus at some point and made friends with Gary Mitchell when he was at the Academy. That's it. And we knew that he was very studious at the Academy, but that's it. That's all we know. And that he was on a ship he was on the Farragut, where his captain was killed by a weird cloud monster thing. But we don't know much else.
Something I observed in the one image that we have is Kirk has 3 bars on his wrists, which denotes captain. So while they've not specified, those bars are telling a different story. So I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I like Kirk. Kirk's fine. We know Kirk. I want to get to know these other people. We know Kirk's story. We have original series. We have a bunch of movies. We have a whole other timeline of movies with Kirk. I want to get to know these other characters instead of Kirk.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be interesting to see how differently it's done than the Abrams movie stuff with younger Kirk and Pike. Even though they're different kinds of ages and in different places, obviously, in a way. And it's obviously a different timeline. But it'll be interesting to see if it's a different kind of relationship. Because I think they're in danger of treading over ground that film sort of did. I think they've got to frame it in a different way. And whether or not it'll be much more about Kirk and Spock and meeting those two coming together and that origin story, if you like, which I don't feel I need to have seen. But if they do it well and it's true to the characters, then fine. But I'd be quite happy if he's not in all of it and he rocks up here and there, and that maybe it's a. I don't know if you guys know if he's in the whole thing or he's a main character, but I'd be quite happy if he was just a guest, really. And like you say, Ashley, if the focus is on these newer characters, the Mbengas and the Ortegas and all these guys who are coming in. So.
Well, and Mbenga was actually in the original series. He was only in a couple episodes.
Sure.
So,
but as in a character that we don't really know that well.
Right.
Who's
like
relatively...
I said, only in 2 episodes, so we don't know him real well at all. So that's going to be cool to get to know.
Yeah, I feel like this Kirk has to almost be the opposite of Chris Pine because, again, what little you do get, you get the impression that Kirk was very career-driven. When he was at the Academy, he spent a lot of time studying. He really had his eye on the captain's chair and wanted to get there as quickly as possible. And he did through hard work and being impressive. So that's the Kirk I want to see, not the reckless stumbles into command Chris Pine type that the Abrams movies give us.
I agree. It'd be interesting. But obviously that's for probably at least 20... I'm guessing that's going to come out in 2023, season 2 of Strange New Worlds. So that'll be for then. But good trailer though. Yeah, I think overall, I think it's built up. I feel like they're doing a good job of promoting this show. Actually, it feels like they're getting it out there. They're doing like those TV spots, like you said. There's plenty of promotional material. There's some good, solid trailers that are giving you an idea of what it is. I think there's quite a few people going to show up for this. If this might well be one of the best rated modern shows yet in many ways, because I think people will understand what it is and be accessible.
It's definitely going to be more familiar than Discovery was. Discovery was doing something different. PICARD is different in that it's a sequel, and you're not out adventuring in space all the time. Lower Decks is different again. You've got comedy, which Trek has always had comedy, but it's still none of these feel like an original series or a next gen or even like DS9 or Voyager. So I think this is going to be a return to a little more familiar storytelling. And I think that's going to be a little more accessible for longtime Trek fans and new ones as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's coming on May the 5th. So I can't wait to beam up for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we're doing the first episode, the 3 of us, aren't we? On We Are Starfleet. Yeah, and then we're going to kind of rotate host, I think, and we're going to sort of take over We Are Starfleet and talk about that with some guests and things. So that's going to be great, I think. I think we're going to have a real whale of a time on that first episode. And if it's not titled The Beard of Sadness, I'm kicking off. I really am. So, let's talk then next about Star Trek Resurgence, which is a video game that's coming out on PC, PlayStation, Xbox later in 2022. And this is from the makers behind Telltale Games, who made a lot of narrative-driven games in the past. And they've just dropped a brand new trailer and some spots and some further detail about this game. I mean, I thought it'd be worth talking about because it's set in the 24th century. It's set, I think it's 2380. So I think that's just after Nemesis, right?
Something like that, yeah. Not long after Voyager came home.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe just before Lower Decks.
Around about Prodigy time, I think. Yeah, I think Prodigy's around 2380. I'm not sure.
I just went to the Star Trek Resurgence website, and it says it's set in 2380 in the era immediately following the Star Trek The Next Generation feature film. So yes, just post Nemesis.
Prodigy's 2383, so it's just before that.
And it's before the supernova, because this has an older Spock, speaking of Spock, but we'll come to that in a minute. This is a game that seems to be focusing quite heavily on narrative-driven storytelling, not necessarily RPG as such, but more along the lines of Telltale's classic adventure games. In fact, the guy, I think his name's Kevin Bruner, who is behind the game, partly behind the game, came up from the old like Lucasfilm adventure game stuff, like Grim Fandango back in the late 90s. So some of the people behind this have a real embedded knowledge and skill when it comes to adventure-based storytelling. And even though there is going to be some action in this, I think it's going to be, points of it might be a little bit like Elite Force and some of those games. I think a lot of it's going to be quite cerebral, quite characters interacting with each other, different pathways depending on the answers that are given. And, I mean, firstly, what do you guys think of this? But also, have we had a game quite like this yet for Star Trek in this way over the years of Star Trek games?
I am a Star Trek game novice, so I'm going to leave that to the experts. But one thing that did catch my attention about this is looking on the website, and it says that it is a single-player experience without microtransactions, DLC, NFTs, or other additional monetization models. It is not episodic, so basically once the game is released, that's what you're getting. I was like, this might be a game I'm actually interested in playing because, I mean, to be perfectly frank, I don't play a lot of modern video games just because I feel like I can't ever, like, totally finish one, and that bothers me because I have completionist tendencies. So something like that, yeah, that's catching my interest. I'm pretty curious about it now.
Yeah, so it is in the Telltale model. I've played The Walking Dead one, or one of the Walking Dead ones, and I really enjoyed it. The levels of gameplay is actually quite limited. The action is relegated to essentially quick time events mostly. You can walk around and examine stuff and whatever, but if you get attacked by something, it's like, here's your choices, press X to, I don't know, dodge or whatever, and then that happens. I don't know if they'll do it slightly differently in this case, but certainly in the clips they've shown, they focus more on conversations. So it's the idea you choose your responses to things, and that affects how the relationships evolve. Apparently, the actual narrative doesn't change. So everybody who plays it goes to the same planets. It's just that your relationships between characters will change in everybody's version of the game because of what responses they feel is more natural to choose in a given moment. So that's what they're going with. And no, I don't think we've had a Star Trek game quite like this before. You've had some limited RPG elements and stuff where you get to select responses, but it doesn't really affect anything. Star Trek Online would probably be the closest, where you have a bit of autonomy in that respect. But yeah, a lot of Star Trek games are very simple. Your Armadas, your Elite Forces, your whatever. They're just, this is the shoot 'em up one, this is the strategy one. So this is a different approach. I've always wanted a Mass Effect style Star Trek game, but they don't seem to be intent on making one, because it'd be the perfect mode for Star Trek, I think, setting up a game like that. But they don't seem to be in a hurry to make it. The Star Trek gaming landscape has been somewhat limited for a while. I think pretty much the last one we got was that dumb Abrams set one that wasn't very good. There might have been one or two since then. I'm not sure, but certainly, yeah, the they've dried up a lot since Activision lost the license. They haven't really been making them, which is a shame. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I think it will play out like a long episode, in terms of how you play it. You won't have a lot of direct control. You'll just kind of let it wash over you, which might limit its replayability unless you want to make one of the crew hate you by responding in certain ways to them specifically or something. You can set yourself those challenges.
I think it looks really good. You get to. It reminds me a little bit of only in this factor, but it reminds me of Assassin's Creed, where there was one game where you played as two characters. They were like a brother and sister, and you could alternate between the two. And that's happened quite a lot in these kind of games over the years now. And in this case, you've got a character, two characters set on a ship called the USS Resolute. One's called Jara, who's a Bajoran female. One's called Carter Diaz, who's a human male. And it seems like it flips between the two of them. Jara's sort of is in the red uniform, so she's command, and then Carter Diaz is in a gold one, so he's more engineering kind of. So it sounds like they might have different skill sets, and that we follow their story. Apparently, it's not just going to be set on a ship; it's going to be set on alien planets. It's going to be set in some other different places. But like you, Ashley, I like the fact it's one thing. I like the fact we can buy the game and work through it at your pace. They reckon it's about 50 chapters. They reckon over time, and how long that will take, I don't know. Yeah, but it is one game, and it will have some interesting variety to it. And I just like the idea of it being a little bit. I remember back in the day when Activision had it, they had some great shoot 'em uppy kind of games. They had Elite Force, Star Trek Voyager Elite Force, which was great fun.
I have that graphic novel.
Did you really? Right, yeah.
Yeah, actually, Kate Mulgrew signed it for me when I met her in 2019. So
that's great, and it was a good story if I remember in that. And then they did like the Star Trek Armada game, which was like you just build fleets of ships and invade. I mean, I was addicted to that. I played that relentlessly.
So many hours playing Armada. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one I've played is the space battle game, where you're just fighting other ships.
Was that Invasion? Was that one Invasion?
I don't remember. I'm going to holler at Mr. Nerdy and have him tell me what it is.
Invasion was a PlayStation one. I loved that.
It was for PS2.
Maybe Shattered Universe, or
it could have been
the Sulu one.
I think it was just called Fleet Battles or something like that.
All right. Okay.
Oh, there was something like that. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah, they've done quite a few, and I mean, my favourite, I think, was Bridge Commander, even though it was a bit wonky, because it was you as a captain, essentially. But there's been loads. They've done loads of interesting variety of this over the years, but they've never done one that's felt like you're in a movie as such, and you get to control character fates in this way. It's either been shoot 'em up, tactical, just various kind of different ones, space battles, that kind of thing. This could be a bit of an all-rounder, and it could also tell a really, really strong story at the same time. Yeah. So I'm really excited by it.
Interplay used to make good Trek games as well. Starfleet and Klingon Academy. Klingon Academy is one of my favourite games ever. It was so good. It had you had FMV cutscenes with Christopher Plummer in them and so on. In that one, Starfleet Academy, Shatner, George Takei, and Walter Koenig. In their final appearances in those roles, actually.
Star Trek Encounters is what it was called.
Oh, yeah. That was. Oh, yeah. I remember that one. I had that on the PS2
I played that,
as well.
I think.
Yeah, it was pretty rubbish.
Yeah. Speaking of rubbish, though, you, Craig, took issue, didn't you, with one factor in Resurgence when we first heard about this, which was the voice actor for Spock, because in this we see Ambassador Spock, the old guy, not the young fuck machine from Strange New Worlds, but this is the old guy, and they've intentionally cast a guy who sounds like Leonard Nimoy, or does he? Right, you can come to you in a minute, Craig. Ashley, what do you think first?
I will have to watch the clip and get back to you.
Okay, all right. Craig, I think it's good. I think he's got the Leonard Nimoy kind of thing going on. You don't though, Craig, right? I just don't hear Nimoy
in his performance. I can hear that he's trying to do it, but I just don't hear it. It feels like he's trying to do a poor imitation of Leonard Nimoy. I think he sounds more like Sean Connery than Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, good old Shakari. Yeah.
We're sure it's not Cybok?
Cybok.
Maybe he'll show up in Strange New Worlds.
Maybe.
Where's he?
Tell you, just bring back Cyborg. That's what I want. Like, I would be there for Cyborg, more Cyborg for sure.
Spock's got a sister he denies and a brother he denies. He doesn't confirm any of his family.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be fun to play. They haven't quite said when it's out. They said so spring 2022, which is now. So I don't know if that's going to. I think it's going to be later in the year. But yeah, I think it's going to be good fun. But I would encourage anyone to check out IGN. They've got some good clips on there. They've got some gameplay footage. They've got some cutscene moments. It'll give you a good flavour of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we all are. So we'll have to do some kind of special episode on We Made This, talking Resurgence, I think.
Who finishes it first?
Yeah. We'll have competition. All right, next then. Let's go back. Let's go back in time to just not long after Strange New Worlds, but long before Resurgence, to the motion picture, which has just been released on Paramount Plus in the US, which we in the UK sadly don't have yet, but we will eventually, with a brand new spanking 4K.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Transfer. And people are going nuts for this, aren't they? Online. Have you? That's what I've seen anyway. Have you guys had that impression?
Well, so I got pretty lucky. Paramount sent me a screener for the 4K
Amazing.
release of the motion picture. So I got to watch that this week, and it is gorgeous. Yeah, it's funny because I've been working this week on an episode of Sci-Fi 5 about Douglas Trumbull, who did the effects for that film. And I mean, frankly, the fact that the film even exists, if you guys are familiar with the history, is kind of shock. Like, it's an absolute miracle what they were able to pull off in such a short period of time. But, you know, it had been a little bit since I had seen the motion picture. So going back to watch it again, it just kind of, you know, it hit me fresh. And my goodness, those visuals are beautiful. It is excellently rendered. The version on Paramount Plus is the director's edition. So this is the cut that Robert Wise originally wanted, which was, you know, not what we got originally. So, you know, you feel like they finally got to do the film justice. So you've got these really long shots of, you know, like you've had before, but it's just, oh my goodness, it's just so pretty. It's so pretty. I'm so excited for you guys who are much more steeped in Trek over the long term than I am to watch it and get your feedback on it. But it is a gorgeous piece of work. They did a really great job. I really hope they give the other films this kind of treatment as well.
Yeah, I can't wait. I unashamedly adore this film, and the older I get, the more that grows. There is no greater film of that gives you starship porn than this movie.
That's exactly what it is.
It is, yeah. And I can't wait to see the Enterprise porn sequence, which is a terrible way to describe it, isn't it? But I don't care. Like the shuttle going around the Enterprise.
So
Yeah. I can't wait to see that in 4K. I think that's because that's one of my favourite scenes ever, and it's set to my favourite piece of music ever. I
love
really
the
mean
score.
ever. Yeah, it's my favourite score of all time. Absolutely, 100%. It always will be. And so I can't wait to see these visuals. I think this film visually, even though, like, you know, I get it's not the best Star Trek movie. I fully admit that. You know, in a dramatic sense, it's not as good as Wrath of Khan. It's not as good as Voyage Home. It's not as good as Undiscovered Country. Sure, but on a visual sense, with this cleanup and the way you've been describing it there, Ashley, I think there's so many fantastic visual sequences, like Spock's walk, you know, through Vija. I can't only imagine how great that looks.
Oh,
you know,
my gosh! Like I spent most of the day on Tuesday just watching Douglas Trumbull films. So I started with that one, and then went to 2001, and then I watched Blade Runner, and just watching the way he works and and knowing that he did this without a computer. Like, this is amazing. This is so amazing. I mean, this is such a big reason I'm a fan of practical effects. Is because, you know, if it looked good back then, it's probably going to look good 40 plus years later. So, but it was absolutely beautiful. The spacewalk was great. Probably my favorite sequence in that film. Just all the different insanity that's going on there. It's so much fun.
Have you seen Silent Running? Actually?
Yes, I have seen Silent Running.
That's
and
a good film.
I own the soundtrack on vinyl, actually, and it's green.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because he directed that, didn't he?
Yep. That was one of his. And Joan Baez did the. I never say her name correctly. She did the soundtrack, and it's a pretty soundtrack for sure. Yeah. That's a good movie. Craig, what are your thoughts on the motion picture? Are you like me? Are you a man as the years mature, like they are with me? Is this film maturing for you or not?
No, I hated the film when I first saw it. Still don't like it. And I haven't seen it in a number of years. I saw the trailer for this 4K restoration, and yes, I do agree it looks stunning, but I feel like the trailer's probably enough for me for the moment. I don't want to watch it again because I find it painful to watch. Yes, there's plenty of starship porn, as you put it, but we have endless shots of flying around things. I mean, there's that moment where you watch Sulu looking at the view screen, but you only see Sulu with a light shining on his face, and it's for like 2 minutes before they cut away to something else. Stuff like that. It's just, edit this down. There's fan edits of the film that are actually watchable, apparently. One's a fan edit that's like an hour and 40 minutes long or something like that just cuts out all the chaff. So when this 4K restoration does the rounds, there'll be a great fan edit of it. They will update that fan edit probably at some point.
Have you guys seen the cut of about 20 minutes? I think it's called Star Trek Legacy, and it was on Vimeo, and somebody set essentially a really condensed version of the motion picture to the music from Tron Legacy by Daft Punk.
No.
Have you come
I've never
across
seen
this?
that. No.
That sounds fantastic.
Guys, I am linking this to you right now. I don't care.
Yes, please.
Right?
Thank you.
This is the absolute shit. I will put it in the show notes, right? But I love it so much. I've watched this a ridiculous amount of times, and as much as I love the motion picture, I think I love this more. And you'll see why. It's 22 minutes. But I tell you what, Craig, I think this is all you need, mate. I really do. I think you'll be fine with this.
Yeah, there's very little plot there. You could probably get through it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. So there you go, right? When we're finished, you enjoy, guys. You're going to have a great time with that. So, yeah, I think it's going to be great. We don't know when we're going to get this yet, I think, do we, Craig? I think, because Paramount Plus still hasn't had a proper launch date, and I don't even know if we're getting it like in the US do. I don't know if it's its own channel, or if it's going to be part of Sky over here, or who knows? It's a real big question mark right now. So, do we know when we're going to get this over here? Have you heard anything?
No, and they haven't even planned a physical release yet, have they? But it's one of those, no. How many times am I going to buy these bloody Star Trek films? I own them like 3 times already. And I think what I'll do in terms of getting this is I'll inevitably get it as part of a 4K box set of the first 10. I think that's what's ultimately what's going to happen, rather than buying it again just for this. Because like I say, I'd buy it and then I just wouldn't watch it. So it'll end up just being folded into stuff that I do want to watch when they do that. But I don't know what the 4K restorations of the other films will be like, because sometimes they throw it all into one of them and then they just do lazy machine-generated updates of other ones. So it could be that, the Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 or whatever, they just kind of lazily do it. Or Star Trek 2, they can at least take the footage from the motion picture they used in the film and stick it in there. Yeah. I tell you what, though, I am, after 4K, I'm done now. I'm done with upgrades. I'm done with upgrades until they figure out the technology where when you put it on, you're on the set and you're watching the movie while you're in the movie. Like, until they do that, until I'm in the motion picture on the bridge when they go through the wormhole and they're talking like this. That's what I want, right? I'm not upgrading until that day comes. I think we're both. Well, I'm certainly jealous, actually, that you got to see this.
Not
I'm
so
fine.
Craig, but I am. So yeah.
Was your
I'm
screener
looking forward to it when
watermarked? So did it have a big 4K Paramount Plus over the screen?
Yeah, they always do that. But you know, it I do also, you know, of course, have Paramount Plus. I was able to watch it. Just via streaming on Tuesday, and it was so lovely. Yeah.
Lovely.
I apparently I did a quick Google, and I'm trying to find they released like a little trailer, but I don't see if they've released when they're going to do the Blu-ray.
I feel like I might have heard autumn somewhere. Maybe in the States, but I don't know here.
You might get to see it. Okay, so it's coming in September. But
right,
Fathom. Do you all have Fathom events across the pond?
Don't think so.
I don't know if you have like a special movie release thing, but for folks in the States, Fathom Events will be bringing the film to theaters for a 2-day event on May 22nd and May 25th. Here's hoping you guys get opportunity to see it in the theater if you want to, except Craig. I hope that you don't go watch it because it sounds like it will make you very sad. Either that or you will take an expensive nap.
So wake me up when something happens.
Right. But September is when it looks like you'll get the Blu-ray release.
It'll probably do the rounds in some speciality cinemas. In Edinburgh, we have the Cameo in the Film House. They tend to bring things like that. So I imagine that there will be screenings of it at some point when it appears over here.
Yeah. Whereas I live in the fucking boondocks, so like I'm not. I need to travel like 100 miles to see anything like that these days. But you know what? For this, I will.
Well, even chains like Cineworld and View and stuff like that sometimes do events like that.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll keep an eye on that. Thanks, Ashley. We'll keep an eye on those dates because you never know, that might actually drop over here as well. It does happen sometimes. But yeah, can't wait for that. And I'm glad the reception seems to be great, you know, for this because it's going to be really nice to see.
Did they create new visuals for it? Because looking at the V'ger ship, for example, the comparison between the two, it looks like a completely different effect. Surely it can't have been just that badly photographed in the previous definitions.
It might have been. I don't
know.
Do you know anything about that, Ashley, in terms of the visuals?
I don't. I've not been given any information about that. Just said, here, go watch this. And I said, okay, I think that's pretty. I'll do that.
You might be right there, Craig.
No, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because if you look at the two of them, it's like, there's more lights on this than there definitely is on the other version. You know.
Yeah, maybe it was just late 70s. They were in a rush. They just threw it out there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Trumbull's team worked 6 months, 24/7, to get the effects finished for this film. So the fact that it looks as good as it does, even without the 4K restoration, is absolutely mind blowing to me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, bring it on. Can't wait. Let's finish up then and go back to the actually it's the 25th century now, isn't it, Picard? So aren't we in like 2401 or something like that?
Or the 2020s, whichever you want to look at.
Well, yeah, 2024. Let's talk about the announcement, I think, which basically broke the Star Trek internet this week, which was that Star Trek Picard Season 3, which is filming now, is basically going to be the Next Generation Season 8 in many ways. Because it's bringing them all back. It's bringing back everybody, including Brent Spiner, even though by the sound of it, he's going to play another evil song. We'll come to that in a bit.
Maybe he'll be Lore.
Yeah, the rest... please. Yes, please let it be Lore. That would be brilliant. But, they're all back, aren't they? So we've had, obviously, Will Riker, we've had Deanna Troi, but now we're getting Beverly Crusher, we're getting Geordi LaForge, we're getting Worf, which is the one I can't wait for.
Yes.
Yeah, and apparently we're not getting Wesley Crusher. Whatever.
Boo.
Could we obviously... Will Wheaton apparently has come out and said, oh no, I'm just going to do the ready room or whatever he does, and, I'm going to sit behind the camera. Whatever. If he's not in this, I will be stunned.
After Andrew Garfield, do we believe a word that anyone ever says ever again?
Exactly. They all lie. They just lie. So... Because like LeVar Burton again, like there were photos going around, weren't there, of LeVar Burton on set for one of the seasons, and everyone was like, "Oh, is Geordie going to appear?" And he's like, "No." It's like, of course he is. We all knew this was coming, didn't we? Did we? Did we all knew this was coming eventually? Surely we did.
I didn't. That was a surprise to me. But I don't know. Do either of you follow Chaucer Doth Tweet on Twitter?
No.
Okay, well it's pretty fun. But the folks behind Chaucer Doth Tweet tweeted Star Trek Picard Season 3, The Search for Dr. Pulaski.
I did see that, yes! I saw that. That made me laugh a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I don't see why we have to pick one. I liked Pulaski. I like Dr. Crusher. Team Why Not Both? That's always me. Team Why Not
Is Diana Muldaur
Diana
still
Muldaur's
alive?
still alive.
Is she?
Yeah, no, she is.
She is.
Yeah. She's about 80. She's about 83, 84. She can still do it.
I mean, she's about the same age as Picard, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I had no concept of her age. I just assumed she was old because she was in the original series and stuff. So
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd forgotten
she's
that.
in 2 episodes as 2 different characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. I can't remember the characters, but it's
One of them's the handler
yeah.
for the same species that Zero is in Prodigy.
I see. She's doctors in both of those episodes
Yeah.
too. That's
if it was a real reunion though, we'd have Denise Crosby as Seela as well.
Who says we're
Seela's still
not?
out there. Well. I hope. To be honest, I'd be fine with that. I think that if you're gonna do it, just do it. You just get them all in there. You know, you're gonna get the main cast back. I know, Craig, you've got some reservations, but I won't. And I'm normally the first one, particularly with Discovery, to moan a little bit about nostalgia. But I won't lie, this one, I genuinely am okay with this. I actually think that I don't know if I'm with the train of thought that Picard should have started like this. I don't really. As much as I don't know if that first season was great completely, I absolutely admire the intention there to actually do what they did and try and focus it on Picard and a new setting and everything. So I don't think they did the wrong thing by not having all of them in it. But I do think it's a nice way to round this all off. I think I described it on the Discord channel we're on as kind of TNG's undiscovered country moment, maybe. And I'm kind of okay with that. I think it could be really nice. It won't be as good, and it won't be...
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
It won't be as magical, I think, in some ways as people think it might. And I think some of the characters are going to seem a bit hoary and old and really. But I'm still looking forward to it, personally.
I want to see the TNG cast interact with the current Picard cast. I think that's going to be super fun.
That'll be good.
Yeah, that's gonna that's gonna be really interesting to see how all these guys play together. I think that's gonna be really neat to see.
Do you think like Rios might clash with Worf?
I can totally see him being like a Riker fanboy or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't blame him. Riker's great.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my imagining there. I want to see Seven and Worf like butt heads. I think that's going to be super fun.
It is totally. Craig, what do you think of this then? You've had a few more reservations, I think, haven't you, about this?
Yeah, so I'm going to bring balance to this. Let's put it that way by saying that I have some concerns, and it's not just on what's happening in Star Trek at the moment. It's what's happening in franchising at the moment in terms of the weaponizing nostalgia by bringing back this person, this person, this person. Yes, Spider-Man No Way Home, it worked for me because I think they did it really well, and am I excited to see the TNG cast back again? Of course I am. I love those guys, but also I feel like it's going to be a bit forced. It seems like it's a bit forced. And cynically, it's halfway through Picard Season 2. They're announcing what they're going to do in Season 3. I know it was a First Contact Day announcement, but it seems to suggest that, hey, don't worry about any of this stuff that's happening in Season 2. Season 3, that's when you really want to turn up. That's where you really want to watch it, because that's what you've been wanting all along. I do agree with you that, I don't think Picard should have been this from the beginning, because I do applaud them for trying something different. Fair dues, that thing they tried that was different wasn't very good, but they gave it a go. And then certainly the first episode of season 2 was heavy course correcting from season 1. It was, fine, here's the show you want. Here's Admiral Picard on a starship helping out with a problem. There, we're doing it. Okay, here you go. So this one is, TNG season 8, but not the funny Twitter feed where it's Geordi and Data getting up to antics and whatever. It's this, I guess it's always this idea of, I think Ghostbusters suffers from this as well, and some other franchises where it's this thing that was pretty good some time ago, and they're adding this extra weight of history to it where it doesn't necessarily have that. I would almost be up for it just being like, I don't care about you people. You're people I worked with like 20 years ago. I don't you remember most of you. Riker was a dick. I don't like him. Stuff like that. Geordi's like, I hated Riker. He was just a dick to me all the time. He always gave me extra work and whatever. It would be quite interesting to have that sort of, instead of familial relationship, that working relationship. But of course, it'll be more saccharine than a Fast and Furious movie, was how I put it in the Discord. That's what I think it's going to be. And that's what worries me. So, yeah.
Are they all going to like end the season with a barbecue in Chateau Picard?
Probably.
Drinking Corona, and talking about how they're a big
pizza
family.
On Riker's decking or whatever,
that's what I was about to say. It's like, no, Riker's going to be making pizza for everybody.
Yeah. Pizza and jazz.
And you're going to have
homegrown tomatoes and basil.
You're going to have a slow motion walk of them going into a situation with the TNG theme playing over it. They'll probably dig out a Galaxy class ship that they can take into action with them. They're going to do all that. You just know it.
You know there's going to be that moment. I mean, I personally think, because in the Last Best Hope, Una McCormack's novel, which is semi-canonical, I guess, Worf is captain of the Enterprise E, or maybe the Enterprise F, I can't quite remember.
Until they ignore it for the purposes of this. Yeah.
Well, maybe. And you know what? I don't mind either way, because while I think Worf as captain of the Enterprise would be really fun, I also could be happily buying him as like Klingon ambassador to whatever, or, a warrior of some kind. But if they did do Worf as the captain, or someone as the captain of the Enterprise, you're going to get that moment where they pull, they step out of their chair and they go, Admiral, one last time. And Picard will sit there and he'll go, engage. You know it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think everyone is going to flip their lids at that moment on one level, though, aren't they? I mean, I think if you're a Star Trek fan of the 90s, I think it's going to be hard. And even you, Craig, with your swinging brick in place of that nostalgic heart, I think even you are going to melt at that point, personally. I do.
Craig's going to shed one lone
and then tell everyone all my problems with it after that.
There you go.
Yeah, it was fine, but here's the issues. Yeah, I wonder if they'll finally confirm that Wesley Crusher is actually Picard's son. All this chat about legacy, because they've always been suggesting that, haven't they? That's always been the thing. Yeah, it's him and Crusher got it on, and Wesley is not Jack Crusher's son.
Jack Crusher's son. Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, they did that. They did a sort of trailer, didn't they? It was kind of like a clip where they all say a line, don't they? All the actors say a line, which I suppose means something to their characters or reflects their characters in some way. And I think that was quite fun. And then it ends with Riker and Picard like holding guns, pointing their guns at something, going so like, you ready? That kind of thing. So they're in the middle of a situation, and there's a suggestion that Riker's saying that they're going on a road trip. So presumably, like you said, Craig, they maybe get a ship, or they get on the La Serena or something, and they're off on some sort of journey. But I suppose, what did you think of that little trailer? Did that work for you guys? Think that was a nice way of doing it?
It was okay.
It was definitely like. Yeah, it was an interesting way to tell us what was happening without actually showing any images of the cast.
Well, they showed us Picard writing something in his journal on the chateau, and they showed us Riker. Yeah, but other than that, and Picard's wearing glasses for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those positronic eyes just aren't what they used to.
He must be allergic to Retinax 5, just like Kirk.
One of the big questions people have been saying is if Kid and Beverly's coming back, are they going to finally get together? And I'm like, but what about Laris? Like, we're halfway through season 2 of Picard, and they're very much teeing up Laris as this great love of his life in his old age. Like, are we gonna have a love triangle situation here?
No, thank you.
I know, or is Laris going to tragically die or something at the end of season 2? I'm
gonna be pissed if that happens.
Well, me too, because I actually think, she's a really good character, and I'm kind of rooting for them now in season 2 of Picard.
I saw something interesting about the fact that you've got these these female actors who are getting on in years come back to reprise their roles, and this is a great example of how there's there's more roles than ever for women over 60. The problem is it's the same roles that those women played when they were 20s and 30s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true, isn't it, really? Yeah, I mean, who knows? There's lots of questions. I mean, there's lots of questions we have no idea, but about the kind of, threat they're going to face, what they're going to be out there doing. It sounds like, as we say, there's going to be another Sung, because Brent Spiner's playing a character. He just says Sung in the descriptive stuff for that character. So is it the Sung from season 1 of Picard? Although he seemed to end up well, was he a good guy at the end? Was he kind of a redeemed guy by the end? I can't quite remember what happened in that episode.
I mean, he certainly wasn't like malevolent.
No.
So yeah, maybe we'll revisit Alton Inigo soon.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe he'll be the villain. Maybe, or it seems like they're doing that. Perhaps, I don't know.
Or just a data stand-in.
Yeah. Will John Delancey be in season 3 as Q? Because it feels like if you bring him that whole... I mean, I'd love to see like Riker and Q having a bit of a dialogue again, because that was always fun when they did, Are they going to have John Delancey still in it in season 3? Maybe, who knows? I mean, it could still go anywhere, couldn't it, really? Because we don't obviously know how this season's going to rock up, but we're assuming that, the future will be set right. But who knows what the plot could be in season 3? Because they've done the Borg, they've done Q, they've done time travel. What else from TNG could they really get into here, maybe, as a final wrap-up kind of story?
Yeah, there's kind of nothing, really. I guess it has to be something that gets the gang back together, though, doesn't it? Because in season 1, there was that bit where Jaban said, it's time to round up the crew, Worf, Geordi, etc. And he's like, no, I'm not involving them. I'm not putting them in danger. I'll put some other people in danger instead. So yeah, it has to be something seismic, but there isn't really anything, because that was the nature of TNG. They didn't have nemesis as such until they made the film Nemesis. But they had situations that they got involved in, and the only real through-line villain as such was Q and the Borg. So they've done those. Are they just going to do them again? I wouldn't put it past them.
What about the Armis? What about the giant?
God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Killed Tasha. So yeah, maybe Armis is rising up.
Well, you've got Mariner just winding him up just for something to do. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
I loved that. That was so good.
They're all gonna crank call Armis. There you go.
That's what they do. They meet up once a year, have pizza with Riker, and they crank call Armis.
Maybe they're going to go like all good things, and it'd be one good old classic spatial temporal anomaly. Maybe maybe it'd be like that. They're going to have to go and... Although they've sort of done that now, haven't they, on Discovery? That was one big anomaly. So they can't keep doing anomalies, can they? Although that's a proper TNG thing, a good old anomaly, or something like a spatial rift or a fissure.
Yeah. Lore would be a good one, because they never explain what happened to him.
They should totally do it. Do they maybe think he's just a bit too cheesy now? Like Lore, like the evil doppelganger, dresses in black, practically has a twirling mustache. Because Lore was a bit like that, wasn't he?
He was, but...
I don't know.
Again, I wouldn't put it past them.
I still think it'd be great. What do you think, Ashley? Would you have Lore back?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. They're going to have to do the de-aging thing unless they want to explain why an android can suddenly age. So
they can do it if they choose to, just like Guinan. There we go. I've solved it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's another one. Maybe it's sentient Moriarty.
Oh,
could be.
I would be down for that.
Yeah, me too. Actually, sentient Moriarty tries to take over the universe.
Do you think Michael Dorn's going to use this as a springboard to campaign for a Captain Worf show again? Just right, I came back. Can I do it? Can I do a spin-off?
I tell you, that is the show that everybody wants. So they just need to do it.
The thing, in the Armada, when he's on that Defiant class ship, the Avenger, that's what I thought a Captain Worf show would be. Him just cutting about on a warship, just putting out fires, just solving problems.
Yeah. basically that moment in First Contact that we were talking about the other day, just for an entire episode, where he just rocks in. Yeah. Perhaps today is a good day to die. And he just blows some stuff
His
up.
crew just incredulous the whole time. They're just like, why are we on this shit? Why this shit? I just want to study comets. I didn't want to get into this.
It feels like this is a Lower Decks episode, to be fair. We ought to give this to Mike McMahon.
There you go. There you go.
But no, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. It'll be obviously more that will trickle out once season 2's over of Picard. So yeah, I think we'll keep an eye on it. And obviously then we've got season 3 of Lower Decks coming this summer. We'll then have the part 2 of season 1 of the weird way they're doing Prodigy later in the year as well. Why they're not just calling that season 2, God knows. But, they seem to be. And then Discovery, season 5. So, we know very little about any of those yet, really, don't we? So that's all to come. But yeah, it's good. I mean, much as I have my doubts about some of it, it is so lovely to have Star Trek around so much now. And it be part of the conversation. That's so great. I cannot fault that one bit.
I'm looking forward to the first show that they make that doesn't rely on any prior connections to anything, because they've all had some level of, some more overt than others. Lower Decks, for example, is sort of tangentially connected, and you have cameos and so forth. Prodigy obviously has Hollow Janeway in it, and Picard is, well, it's a sequel. Discovery has heavy connections to the original series, so Strange New Worlds obviously has heavy connections to both Discovery and the original series. So the next show they make from the ground up, like Starfleet Academy or something like that, should be, we're properly just giving you something new now. I hope they've got the nostalgia out their system, but I feel like they haven't. I think Kirk coming along probably is going to lead to them doing more with Kirk, because otherwise you wouldn't cast him really, and you wouldn't cast someone like Paul Wesley, who has such a devoted following, if you weren't planning something.
Yeah, maybe. Although I still think Starfleet Academy is going to be 32nd century, and it's going to have Tilly in it, man. I really do.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. It's probably going to have that Discovery connection. So I'm all about more Tilly, so yeah. But we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, who knows? That's all to come. But yeah, this has been great, guys, to pick through this for another little We Made Treks Roundtable. I'm sure we'll do another one later in the year when we get some more info on some of these new projects. Until then, keep an eye on all the different podcasts. Whatever one you're listening to, listen to the others. So we've got Make It So, we've got We Are Starfleet, and we've got Rarely Going, all of which are going to be bringing you content over the next year at various different points. So keep an eye on it. But until then, guys, where is the best place for people to find you for more Trek and beyond? And where can people find you for that? Craig, why don't you go first?
Sure. So mainly I can be found on Kneel Before Blog. kneelbeforeblog.co.uk is the web address, or just Kneel Before Blog on Twitter and Facebook. It'll all be there. I review things like Picard and Arrowverse shows. So I'm reviewing Superman and Lois and The Flash. Yeah, so I review those. There's an attached podcast called Kneel Before Pod, and the most recent episode we released as I'm talking was it was our First Contact Day special where we talked about Nemesis. But there's a news roundup as well, and there's other stuff coming. So I'm there on We Made This, as mentioned, Rarely Going, and upcoming on We Are Starfleet, pop up on Podcast 616 quite often. I usually fill in on Real Talk when Dan needs someone that's seen a film, which is often me, because I tend to go opening weekend, so I'm there quite a lot. Personally on Twitter, you can find me under Nemesis4909, which isn't completely a Star Trek reference. It was originally a Resident Evil reference, then eventually became a Star Trek reference. So there we go. I've done my contractual obligation once again.
Excellent. Ashley, how about you?
Okay, so you can hit me up on the tweets at The Nerdy Blogger. You can like my Facebook page, facebook.com/The Nerdy Blogger. You can read my words on nerdyblogging.wordpress.com. That is my blog. You can also read my words on fangirlish.com, where I am the Trekspert in residence. So I cover all the Star Trek shows and news and all of that. Also write about film. You can hear my words being read on the Sci-Fi 5 podcast, which is a Roddenberry show. It's 5 minutes of science fiction history, 5 days a week. Finally, you can hear me on a litany of shows here on the We Made This podcast network, where I guest and talk about a lot of Star Trek, but other things too, like Real Talk a lot about movies and all that good stuff. And then you can also hear my own show that I do with some friends. It's called Dearly Debated, where we fuss at each other about film, television, video games, comics, whatever we're geeking out about.
Fantastic. Do not miss the work of these guys, folks, because Craig and Ashley are brilliant writers, writing some amazing stuff on tons and tons of content. So do not miss it. All right, it's awesome. You can find me at AJ Black Writer on Twitter. That's where I mainly hang out. You can find my website, culturalconversation.co.uk, with lots of different content on there. And check me out overall on all kinds of things on the We Made This podcast network at We Made This. So yeah, I'm spreading myself all over the place over there. Ugh, that doesn't sound nice, but it's true. Yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys, and whatever show you are tuning into. Remember, as I say, we're part of We Made This, the podcast network. Please subscribe to the show you're currently listening to on Apple Podcasts, because it will really help the network overall. And please consider supporting us if you do like what we're talking about on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/We Made This. Star Trek in all its future forms is not all we're talking about, though, so we'll give you a taste of what else you might have missed on the network in just a moment. But until next time, live long and prosper. Elsewhere on We Made This. A dream given form. A Babylon 5 podcast.
The isolationism is talked about a lot in the episode, but it's entire. But Londo's isolation is so heartbreaking to watch. Their final scene of dialogue together between Londo and Jakar it's so powerful. When Jakar says, "I can't forgive this entire, but I can forgive you," and that music as Londo touches Jakar's arm and leaves gives me goosebumps. It's so beautifully done.
I'm not going to lie, that I kind of welled up when Jakar forgave him. It really does.
Yeah,
it really does get me. But yeah, it's a very sad story, but that's what makes Londo's journey such a captivating journey to watch throughout the 5 seasons.
Free with this month's issue.
This is Skin Lab and Dissolve.
Yep.
That f***ing riff, man.
What a track.
So good.
I love that lyric as well. I'm disappointed that he didn't write it himself.
Did he not?
No. Which one?
It's not what they call It's What You Answer To is a W.C. Fields quote. I've just looked it up.
Ah. Oh, I quite like that even more now.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say it was a WCW quote.
Yeah. Oh, Sting coming out. Yeah. Bit of that Eric Bischoff in the middle of the ring. Yeah, let's re-record it, and Ian, if you could just say that'd be fantastic. Sure. But no, I love this. It's definitely Machine Head influence, isn't it? I mean, they're from San Francisco, so which isn't a million miles away from the Bay Area, of course. But,
there's a bit of Far Beyond Driven era Pantera in there as well, particularly with the deep, low voice in the verses.
Oh yeah.
Geek Polymath.
So what is it about RuPaul's Drag Race that particularly appeals to you over everything else that you could possibly like in geek culture?
It's impossible to narrow it down to one thing, because it's literally everything about it is everything that I like. So you've got legitimate competition, because 9 times out of 10 the loser is the one who does the worst. So one of the problems with reality TV is that they keep the controversial people in and they send home the boring people. That's something that happens around it, and it becomes quite disappointing.
Check out all of these shows and more on the We Made This podcast network.